If Kill Bill and Blade had a baby, it would be Asia Reeves.
Hi, I'm the new maid.
Is that a wild take? Possibly. But just like Zazie Beetz, we're not here to play it safe.
What the?
Yo, my name is AJ, and if you love thinking deeper about movies, TV, and anime, you're in the right place. They Will Kill You might be my favorite Zazie Beetz movie of all time. If I had to describe this movie using one word, it would be raw. Now, I know that might seem a little bit rudimentary to some, but it's the best way I can describe the marvel of this movie. It reminds me a lot of other action movies like John Wick and even Blade to some degree. Granted, there might not be as much finesse and gunplay as in something like Ana de Armas's Ballerina from the world of John Wick. But this movie follows a very capable Asia Reeves on a quest to save her sister. But the big question everyone's asking is, was They Will Kill You really any good? To keep it short and simple, yeah! See, this is an epic tale full of action, thrills, and for a lack of a better word, carnage. Many tried and many failed to take her out. It didn't matter how many ops you threw at her, because she might mess around and throw a machete right back at you.
Come on, guys, it's just one girl.
Tell that to Bob.
I'm telling you, bro, Asia Reeves is really like that. From the flair to the gore to the pacing to the cinematography and the special effects, it was all like music to my ears. Well, at least till they start showing all of the random cult satanic stuff that Virgil was founded on. Because honestly, I could do without all of that. But everything else was amazing.
He ain't lying.
They Will Kill You lived up to the epic trailer I saw before watching Hoppers, which, funny enough, is Pixar's newest movie that hit theaters recently as of me, recording this. Obviously a completely different vibe, right? But shameless plug, I also reviewed that movie. So if you didn't see that already, definitely check that out here on YouTube or on my Substack.
Okay. Do it. Do it.
But back to the topic at hand, I believe the trailer did a good job at explaining this crazy situation without giving too many key details. There were still plenty of crazy movies they left out of the trailer, or at least the one I saw. So the trailer movie ratio was excellent, which is pretty rare nowadays when it comes to, action and horror movies. Even though personally I wouldn't go as far as to say that They Will Kill You is all that scary. If it was me, I'll probably throw it in more of the thriller category by nature of how the plot plays out in a set of kind of like stages, with each one getting more and more epic as the stunts also become more and more demanding. But because of the subject matter, it makes sense why they would label it as horror. But hey, to each his own.
Potato. Tomato.
Tomato.
Now, if you made it this far in the video, you clearly love thinking deeper about movies, TV, and anime. Comment raw talent so I know you're a true warrior. That's our name of our community here and everywhere else you see our content. And we're closing in on 1,000 subs. Hopefully we hit it by the time this comes out. But also, while you're down in the comment section, quick question. If you were stuck in, I don't know, an immortal hotel like the Virgil for one night, what is one thing 100% you're bringing to help you survive the night? I'm just curious. How creative can y'all really be? But now to dive a little bit deeper into the movie.
Finally!
They Will Kill You is one of those movies that kind of drip feed you the story. We get a nice little chunk of backstory early on, and then throughout the story, or stage if you will, shout out to all my gamers out there.
What? Good job.
We get to see more and more pieces of the overarching narrative fall into place. So at the core of this movie, the story in and of itself is good, mainly because of its simplicity, allowing the characters to really shine, almost to the point where their performance overshadows the entire plot.
You little shit!
See, keeping things bare bones, so to speak, helps create the desperation and focus we felt on screen. It was about putting the next foot in front of the next foot, not looking 10 steps ahead. It was urgent and it was raw.
Stop it. Get some help.
Especially early on, when we didn't really know what was going on. By the time they revealed the whole story, it was almost like it didn't matter how we got here. What mattered is that we made it. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, so then how does that make They Will Kill You a story worth telling? Well, the answer to that question is quite simple. Flaming axes.
Who are you?
Okay, I'm joking. There's a little bit more to it than that. In my opinion, what makes a movie like They Will Kill You worth watching is the fight. And yes, I mean that in the literal sense. Seeing Zazie Beetz doing her thing against all them bots, ads, cult members, whatever you want to call them, was fire. But at the same time, I also mean the fight in the metaphorical sense as well. We get to see somebody redeem a past mistake, a past trauma, in the only way they know how. Granted, was it the most graceful approach?
Absolutely not.
But it felt real, and you could see the passion and understand the grit it takes to try to take on what feels like the world to accomplish something seemingly impossible. Just the sheer physicality of what it took to pull off some of these stunts should be applauded. That's why we used the word raw to describe this movie earlier, because it is, in every sense of the word, raw. But if you want to hear a more in-depth conversation about movies, TV, and anime, definitely check out our podcast, The Why I'm Geek Show, here on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. All right, back to the video. See, if you ask me, the appeal of this film isn't just all the different action sequences, which felt, I'm not gonna lie, larger than life sometimes, or seeing all the blood and gore like this is a classic Quentin Tarantino film. No, it's the entertainment aspect of it that makes this movie stand out. From the way that they shot it, to the back and forth between the characters.
The night you abandoned me, I needed you.
It's about to go down.
While you were in prison and our piece of shit father was beating the crap out of me, I really needed you. But you are too late now. I don't need you.
Do you have any idea what I went through to find you?
I don't care.
Take responsibility for my own life or blame you. Ding, 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 ding. Blame you wins hands down.
Even the world building they sprinkled throughout has me thinking that there could be some kind of spinoff, especially based on how the movie ended. Through and through, I was entertained from start to finish. Once you get past all the satanic cult stuff and the sketchy CGI you see later in the movie, I believe They Will Kill You has a lot of rewatchability to it. And don't even get me started on the cinematography. Oh my gosh, bro. Like, between the cinematography and the choreography of the fights, I still don't know which one I like more, because it really felt instinctual. And I don't know a better way to describe it. That's why I keep saying that this joint was raw.
Huh? Stop saying this!
I know it's not the most elegant or sophisticated word to critique something, but it's true, and it carried throughout the movie. My absolute favorite shot was when they used a fisheye lens to emphasize how intense things were. That was just one of the many action sequences that had me super hyped, bro, and locked in, ready for the next one. Even the treatment they used to film one of the earlier scenes in They Will Kill You, when Asia was peeking under the bed, that joint had a buttery smooth transition and was one of the first real indicators to me that we were in for a treat. Now, I'm no expert in cinematography or a DP, so I can't explain all of the intricacies that go into making that shot work. But what I can say is that I have seen a lot of movies that just do, you know, the normal jump cut. Sure, you might get a jump scare here and there, but it's just not the same. Now, I'm not trying to take anything away from these movies that do that, but more so appreciate the level of detail and craft they put forth to make They Will Kill You as crispy as possible. The point being, you can tell where they put their money in this movie. Pyrotechnics and blood spatter? Yes. CGI pigs, not so much. So, like with a lot of good movies, there is some give and take to consider. But if you ask me, Zazie Beetz and the rest of the team behind They Will Kill You had a lot to give. Now, I might not be as willing to go as far as to say that They Will Kill You will end up being the best movie to come out in 2026, but I will say it's going to be one of the most entertaining. 100%. Seeing someone very capable go against bots is always going to be fun to watch, regardless of what the premise is. With this film, because of Asia's choice of weapons and the origin of her fighting prowess, it almost feels tangible to a certain extent.
Where did you learn how to fight like that?
Prison.
And also because the win condition for this movie was so broken. You couldn't help but root for her. Just the sheer physicality of this movie should get them some nominations in my opinion. But bottom line, this film lived up to the moment. The story was smooth, the actors were better, the chemistry between Zazie Beetz and Myha'la was unmatched. Best sister combo since I don't know when. And since this was a shorter movie, the pacing for They Will Kill You felt great and I really enjoyed watching it. Personally, I would recommend it, but maybe not to just any and everybody. Not because it's not good or anything silly like that, but because of, you know, the whole cult thing. Outside of that, They Will Kill You lived up to my expectations, which is why I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 G-File score. But that's all I got for They Will Kill You. If you enjoyed this review, here's another one we think you would like. But before you go, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another one of my reviews, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace!